What's up guys? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Kackie and welcome to the final video of my 12 Days of Mindfulness series. Today is going to be your final send-off, right? So as we close out the holiday season, or any time that you would be watching this, the whole idea is that if you came here and watched this whole series, that you would probably want to start fresh. I think part of the new year is that we all feel this pressure to start fresh and do everything perfectly. As you and I have discussed, the idea of perfectionism is actually the enemy of true growth, and so I want to really give you guys some alternative ideas and strategies for how to approach the new year, start fresh without giving yourself a ton of pressure and basically building in a reason for you to shame yourself ultimately, because that's what resolutions do, right? They just make us shame ourselves at the end of the day because we didn't do something perfectly, or we didn't do something every day, or we didn't stop doing something that we said we were going to stop doing. So we're going to set some practical goals, and it will allow us to give ourselves all kind of a send-off into the new year that's a lot more practical and a lot more forgiving. So first I kind of want to change the approach. Like I said, you kind of start the new year usually and you say like, I'm going to stop doing this, or I'm going to start doing this every single day and everything's going to change. My life's going to be totally different. This is the year. This is my year. Guys, you know, I'm not saying that you all suck. Like, we all are human and we all are just going to end up kind of coming back to a place that's far more comfortable for us. Like, yeah, if you decide that this is the year that you're going to, I don't know, do something really, really radical and like you do it, then more power to you. But most of us, as we get older, we realize that like resolutions end up usually with us shaming ourselves. It's not because we suck, it's just because we have lives, you know what I mean? Like, cut yourself some slack. So the way that I choose to approach these sort of like fresh start mentalities is, how do you want to feel? That's what I hope that people are able to take away from this series, is to start thinking in terms of how you want to feel as far as goals are concerned, and instead of trying to bring a positive feeling by accomplishing something, try to set the goal of how you want to feel, and then sort of like you get to build what happens in between that helps you feel that way. It's not so much like, oh, if I have this one thing, I'm gonna feel really great about myself. It's more like, if I want to achieve feeling better about myself, what are the steps that I need to take to get there? And a lot of times that has absolutely nothing to do with starting something or stopping something and doing it perfectly. It has far more to do with listening to your intuition and doing the work. So when I say do the work, what do I mean? I mean incorporating everything that we've talked about in this series so far. So I would say, if you have a way that you want to feel, you begin by manifesting that. You write it down, you're really, really specific, you journal about it, you decide that, you know, I don't like feeling the way that I feel right now because of X, Y, and Z, and how I would like to feel is this. And then you sort of turn it on yourself and say, I already feel this way. Then get to process in your brain, what is the difference between how I feel and how I want to feel, and what is the distance that I need to traverse doing the work to get there. And it has to do with investing in yourself. It has to do with devoting time to yourself. One of the biggest lessons that I learned this year is to be greedy with my time. Even if you're a parent, even if you work 12-hour days, even if you have just incredible amounts of like social calendar obligations and things like that, it is absolutely that much more important. And honestly, even if you have a pretty chill life and you don't have that many obligations and you do have a ton of free time is not the same thing as giving your time to yourself. I truly encourage you, when you're thinking about setting these goals for yourself and how you want to feel and how you want to get there, that you incorporate prioritizing yourself and being really selfish with your time. Greedy and selfish sound like a negative connotation, but when they're applied to you prioritizing the time that you give to yourself, they're not negative at all. They're actually just very practical. And then we get into essentially building from the ground up with your chakras. So essentially you have set these goals for yourself, you are already manifesting them, you are putting in the time, and then you can kind of concentrate during each day and in your practice on which parts of yourself need attention. And that's why you have to give that time to yourself, is because if you don't have time to say, hey, what do I need today? How can I be the best contributor to everything that I interact with today, including myself, if I don't ask myself what I need? And when you can kind of apply a chakra to it, or a stone to it, or some kind of good like memory hook, some kind of physical thing, it helps you so much more to kind of take that priority with you throughout the rest of your day, because we're not just going to sit and meditate in silence all day. We do have to interact, we do have to do our lives. And so if you can take that time, be greedy with it, prioritize yourself, invest it in yourself, and ask yourself, like, check in and say, what do I need today? And then take that discovery with you throughout the rest of your day, and you do that every day, then you realize as a cumulative effect, you are traveling the distance between the person that you are and the person that you want to be and how you want to feel. And finally, if you guys are obviously, like every one of us, looking for an actual physical fresh start, there are a lot of really good ways for you to physically manifest having a fresh start that can kind of help you feed into that idea of having sort of a metaphorical fresh start. And so I definitely suggest purging, just getting rid of some shit. Like, it can just be very therapeutic to go through your closet and just go sell everything, or just like donate it to charity, just get rid of a bunch of crap. Like, it's a very cleansing feeling. Go into your cabinets and just get rid of all your goo, all of your like lotions and crap that you don't need, or anything that is dragging you down or anything like that. And I kind of feel that way after Christmas. I know that everybody thinks that Christmas is so great and everything, and then once it's over, it's this huge bummer. But to me, Christmas, as great as it is an encapsulation of a lot of stress and a lot of work. It kind of doesn't matter how good the work is if it's just still, you know, overwhelming your time and overwhelming your like money and things like that. So once Christmas is over, I'm actually really grateful that it's over. Like, I take a minute, I'm like, all right guys, like, let's put the Christmas decorations away. There's nothing sadder than leaving Christmas decorations up later than Christmas, because it's just like holding on to something that's not there. Like, you know, purge it from your mind, and it will help you also be able to set realistic personal goals that are actually going to bring you satisfaction when you accomplish them, things that are actually attainable going into the new year, instead of I'm going to go work out an hour and a half every single day and I'm gonna get abs by spring kind of thing. And above all, guys, when you are doing all of these things, please remember that you are worthy, you are enough, you are amazing, and I don't think any of us hears it enough, especially from ourselves. I know that that's kind of like a live, laugh, love, you know, put it on your wall kind of thing, but when I say it, what I mean is that you need to remember that when you're talking shit to yourself, because we're all talking shit on ourselves all the time. That is one of the biggest, most poisonous things that we can do that's going to steer us off track, is to allow that kind of negative self-talk into our universe and make us feel like we're not worthy of the goals that we're trying to achieve. We're not worthy of the time that we're trying to put in for ourselves. We are struggling financially, or we have all these people counting on us, or things like that, and we feel like we're falling down on that stuff. Like, we don't deserve to give that time back to ourselves. Remember that in order to be the most effective version of yourself and to live more than just day to day, to thrive instead of just surviving, you have to be greedy about your time, and you have to give that little tiny bit of time to yourself every single day in order to begin to feel the way that you want to feel. My God, the cedar fever, you guys, it is absolutely ridiculous. Don't move to Austin. Look at my nose. That's so red. So if you're like me and your biggest challenge is perfectionism and then shaming yourself when you don't get where you're trying to go, just remember that scarcity is something that we have built in our brains as human beings when we compare ourselves to other people, and we apply judgment to ourselves that we would never apply to somebody else. That's the kind of poisonous thinking that makes us think that we're not enough. And if you can build that universe that we talked about, where you can not let those ideas in, at least when you're at your most ideal and healthy self, and just understand that that is part of being your healthiest self, it's always going to be in the back of your mind as not necessarily stopping the negative self-talk, because God knows it's a horrible epidemic, but being aware of it and understanding that this is something that my brain's always gonna do and I don't have to listen to it. Understand, like I said, that you are enough, you are worthy, and you are amazing, and I mean it. And come back and watch this anytime that you need to be reminded, because you are incredible and you are unique and you have unique gifts to give to the world. And I hope that this series has helped you kind of start to dial in those feelings. And if it has, guys, feel free to leave me a comment down below. I want to chat with you guys. Like I said, I am not perfect. I am not a guru of any kind. This is just some stuff that has really helped me kind of overcome and combat ongoing anxiety, depression, negative thoughts, and become what I feel like is just a more fortified version of myself, and it gives me hope for being a better human in the future. So I hope that it did that for you guys, and I hope that you guys have an amazing, amazing rest of the year. We're going to return back to some product reviews and makeup and beauty and all that kind of stuff soon, but if you guys have any more kind of requests for mindfulness videos in the future, we can definitely do that too. And I hope that you guys enjoyed this. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you want to keep hanging out with me in the future on this channel, please hit the button down below and subscribe. I'd love it if you did. And guys, thank you so much for watching this series, and I've had so much fun making it, and thank you, thank you, thank you. I will see you guys in my next video, which will not be this series. So I will talk to you guys as soon as possible. Bye!